Okay, quick Monday morning radar update. So we've got news on CER this morning. It's been a focus stock for us since 2019. Let me just zoom out the chart so you can see what we've been looking at. It hit the growth screener back in sort of this area as it was basing out. In fact, I'll just zoom that out so you can see what we were looking at. It gapped out the base. We looked at a swing point on the first retrace, and then we looked at the add point as well. And I didn't get on board it back then. Always down to how much money I've got free in the account. But after the market crash, CEO was one of the few stocks what held trend in the growth list. I say one of the few stocks, one of the focus stocks. And I actually got on board on the first pullback after this breakout, so kind of a second pullback in the trend. Not usually my favourite place to get on board a trend. I like to get on board a little bit earlier, but just what happened in the market with the market crash, throwing a bit of noise into a few stocks, it kind of made sense for me. And I mean, let's just go. It's 150% out of the first base. It's probably about 60%, 70% out from my first entry. Added to it on the journey, obviously. So that is CAR. Portfolio blasting through all-time highs again today. SPSY is potential trail and add point there. Haven't decided yet. We'll have a look at free cash in the account. So really good day today. Let's just jump into what's actually moving. We got a bit of a frothy open and just drifting back into the pivot. Pretty normal action after a big day on some of these markets on Friday. So we await the US Open. Pound dollar back in mean trend. This is where reward to risk is found. There will be whipsaws, but we've been talking about that. Moving on. A little bit of a bumbly open for most markets, looking at the metals and the gold and the oil. Brent's up at the moment. A little bit of a bumbly open. So I suppose we can just go through this again, making a straight move. It's obviously, the way you've got to think about this is reward to risk is found. I mean, the last breakout here, active low, higher high. And then you look for the first retrace for the longer term potential positioning in other stocks, I would say, for oil alignment. That's the best way of putting it. But once you sort of get in this area up here, all day long, you've got to go, hang on a minute, it's just traded. You've just got to take a reality check and say, more likely than not, this is not a low risk entry. And, though it's never a short when the trend is up, the easy money is always made in the direction of the trend. There's more available move in the direction of the trend, less less weight on timing because the trend makes it easier. So let's move on from that. Let's see what's in the volume leaders this morning. It's just gone 7 minutes past 10. We should have traded 24% to be on average volume. I think we're we're low on the large caps. A little bit of a bumbly open. I'll just buzz through these really fast. Obviously I've got a position in this one. Normal action. I will trail and add above this line here. Market didn't want to believe those results until they saw them on the table. But we were trading towards them, but it involved ups and downs. KNOS, obviously I've got a position in that one as well. Holding fine. Buzz through a few more. And into the small caps. I've already forgotten how many. I think we should have traded 25% by now to be on average volume. Good volume in the small caps. I'll have a look to see if there's any sectors leading. Mining, oilers, and a general mix. So I'll go through these in order of volume. CER top of the tree today there. Just buzz through these, that's a lose less scenario. No forward on cadence. Obviously we've already noted the sort of swing point and the base break for a POS stock. Zephyr Energy, obviously I've traded this one. I got involved down here on this little ledge base cheat, and I sold in 3 positions into strength up here. Whatever is. Elco construction, another boring area, but I'm just going to punch this one in. Elco. Yeah, I'll just move on from that one. Not too interesting to me. Tick down in the forward numbers, no forward numbers. Big tick up in very thin pre-tax numbers. Still negative. This one, obviously we've talked about this one many times. If you like this one, you know, I think the reward to risk would be found on a normal mean trend swing point area. LIT, it will get there at some point, but I don't see any sort of I just see a company what, you know, it's just not that interesting to the market, and that's why it's kind of trading a little bit loose on its base. But well, it's 50% base, isn't it? Maybe more. So you know if you've done your research and all that, for me, I would say a swing point from a mean trend area, and it doesn't look. This is just like a little base retest swing point here. Would be you get more reward to risk when position sizing. Not interested myself. SUR, I have a position. Obviously, we've had 4 hit the screens today, 4 or 5, haven't we, from my portfolio? All top right hand side, trending. What about the value? They all scream. The trailing stop will take care of that for me. Just going to reverse it up to Belver letting, because this is it's one what does have a tick up in its growth these days. It's been pretty lethargic for many years, and obviously it got whacked active low, high low, high, a bit creative, but we saw it on the high volume swing points on this day here. It broke out new 6-month highs on this day here. We saw it on the swing screens about a week and a half ago or something on this day here. And this is, it's just breaking out of a big, not where you find reward to risk, especially if you're trading towards results. You want to get a low. It's very easy to time a low risk entry. It's pretty futile if you start going on to 5-minute charts. You don't need to do that. You just need to look at reward to risk. A good entry is actually, a good reward to risk opportunity for how the stock trades as well. So you've got to sort of work out the normal action of the stock. Another one in my portfolio, CLX. This one's got pretty good forward numbers as well. Touch wood. CLX. It's right up there in the GTRS. When it trades, if it trades a new high in the future, it will jump right up into the top sort of tier of the GTRS as well, because it's just been held back on the trend slightly. Falsely held back, actually. It's just a little gremlin in with the supply calculation I use. Silvana, normal action, stair-stepping action. I haven't got the log scale on for this screen. So if you're going to use any kind of diagonal, always put a log scale on, because you're comparing the past with the present. So a linear chart does not do that, but a log scale does. A percent move, 35% plus move down here is the same as up here, so you're comparing like for like. And if you use diagonals, and I don't use diagonal trend lines, they're very subjective, but these trend channels, just drag them out over the check trend and you just go, yeah, very normal action. This is what, log scale, trend channel, measure the normal action of the product you're interested in. So fantastic day. We've got plus 9% move on CER. I expect it will be another 10% mover today as it tries to break out. Probably just curse that straight away, haven't I? CLX popping there, so I'm through new highs again on my portfolio. Hopefully you guys are doing well as well. Not seen many gremlins recently. I lost one on a trail for 0.175R or something last week. You will know which one it is. I'm not going to de-ramp it. It just hit my stop. It is what it is. So it might set up again in the future. Okay.